recognize that the Fix-It Felix in the international community is rightfully recognized as the United States, and that our most recent task that we've been forced to clean up has been the aggression of the state of North Korea. According to an article from ABC that was dated January 24th of this year, it claims that Kim Jong-un labeled us as his sworn enemies, even though he invited us out to go and watch basketball with him. But we can recognize that North Korea's increasing aggression towards the United States is going to have a detrimental impact to our nuclear policy unless we can do something to bring in their aggression and bring them back to the diplomacy table. Which begs the question, how will North Korean threats affect nuclear technology globally? And the answer is that it will force the US to increase funding and spending to not only prevent countries from being more aggressive towards us, but to promote investment in other countries that are promoting anti-missile defense systems. And we can trace this through two key points of analysis. First, that recent North Korean actions are going to force us to become even tougher on the current Pyongyang nuclear facilities. And second, that it will force the United States to promote global investment in anti-missile defense technology. So first, we can recognize that the United States is going to have an ever-increasing role in nuclear policy within the international arena, given the fact that current North Korean actions are going to force us to have an even greater aggression towards the North Korean Pyongyang program, given the fact that first, that current actions will likely cripple the North Korean program, and second, that they have the potential to endanger American lives. So first, we can recognize that the United States can have an impact on the North Korean nuclear technology that they are trying to develop. According to data from the CIA World Factbook, they estimate that the North Korean economy as a whole is worth roughly about $40 billion. And now this doesn't really tell us a lot unless we give it some kind of context. So we can look to a CNN article dated December 12th of 2012, which claims that the Pyongyang nuclear facilities as a whole in the year of 2012 cost North Koreans about $1.3 billion, which goes to show that while that money could be used to fund as many as 5 years of corn for the people in order to feed them, that they're spending the majority of their economy's funds to increase their nuclear program. And that when we cut off their trade within the international community and they are not experiencing growth within the region, it'll only be a matter of time before they run out of the resources necessary to promoting the nuclear program. Which brings me to the B point, that they do have the potential to endanger American citizens. According to a CNN article dated Christmas Eve, it claimed that because of successful nuclear tests that they had conducted back in December, that they proved that they had the capacity to launch a nuclear weapon up to 6,000 miles, which meant that it did in fact have the ability to hit California. This led to increased scares not only from the United States, but from the entire Security Council, including China, who normally sides very favorably with North Korea. And they all voted to enact sanctions against the region, according to an article dated from the New York Times from January 25th. We can recognize that the United States is going to have an increasing impact on getting tough on the nuclear program within North Korea, but that a lot of this is going to be accomplished through change that we create through investment. Which brings me to my second point. It'll force the United States to promote global investment in anti-missile defense technology. And we can see this happening through two key programs that we've been investing in heavily. First, through the program of Arrow 3, and second, through the program of Iron Dome, which are both currently being developed within the nation of Israel. Within the United States, we're not seeing the engineers stepping up that we need to develop these anti-missile defense systems, so we are forcing ourselves to strengthen our ties with other countries, like Israel, for example, that have been more successful at innovating the way towards a future where we no longer have to worry about an escalating nuclear crisis. We'll start with Arrow 3. According to the Jerusalem Post on February 25th, it claimed that they successfully tested this new form of technology, which would intercept a missile within space and fly it way out of the US's reach so that it would no longer affect any citizens. and that they do expect this program to be fully functional by as early as 2016. According to a Christian Science Monitor article dated January 25th of this year, it claims that because of the fact that these nuclear weapons that North Korea are developing, that Congress suspects have the same designs that are being used by Iran, that will be able to successfully implement this Arrow 3 technology towards North Korea, and that South Korea has expressed genuine interest with this technology, as well as India and other countries that face increasing global tensions. And we can also see the effect that it has had with our increasing investment in Iron Dome. According to a New York Times article dated March 21st, it claimed that Israeli defense ministers said that in the most recent Operation Pillar of Defense, that it was responsible for stopping close to 90% of all missiles that were firing within the region, not just nuclear capabilities. And the reason why the United States has been investing so heavily in it is because of the fact that it has the potential to prevent regional warfares and to prevent warheads that are not just nuclear. And we can also look to a CBS article dated February 17th that claims that because there have been close to 15,000 rockets that have been launched from Hamas within the last 11 years, that this is going to be very significant in promoting peace within the region. Going back to the question of how will North Korean threats affect nuclear technology globally, the answer is that it will lead to an increasing U.S. involvement in order to prevent countries from being aggressive in promoting anti-missile defense technology. Going back to Wreck-It Ralph, we can recognize that the United States is Fix-It Felix, and that by promoting our investment in anti-missile defense technologies and by preventing the aggression by enacting sanctions and enacting other measures, that we can fix the wreck that North Korea has currently started. Thank you.